What it is. You already know it's your boy Q Deezy the Double Easy. How about you, driver? Drivers. How was everybody's Turkey Day, man? Your holiday. How's everything going out there? What's up with y'all? I'm still here, still good. I'm at my delivery, ready to get this done so I can get my weekend started. I had a really good week this week. Yeah, they ran me. They kept me running, man. I was not complaining. I usually might do 2-3 runs a week, but the day this week we got 4 in. So really good week. So I'll take the rest of the week off. I'm already booked up for next week. So yeah, everything's good over here, y'all. Like I said, I'm liking the semi-retired life now, man. I'm falling into it. Everything is good, and long as everything can stay like this and stay, pretty consistent, pretty much locked in over here with AutoZone, and it's just working. It's just doing what it needs to do. Other than that, man, everything's been good. The truck's been good, still running like a horse, But y'all already know me, so I'm gonna be on top of it. You know what I'm talking about? Be on top of it. But today's topic, I know y'all didn't come here, as they say, for a long time, a short time. We just talking about, some pros, cons, perks to being a authority owner versus, being leased on, because this seem like it's something that never gets old. People always want to know about. And I want to explain there's some significant differences to owner ops. Everybody that owns their truck is not really considered an owner operator. So let me dive into that, right? There's a lot of misinformation about you own your truck, you're a owner operator. So I did a video on this probably several years back where I talk about it. I believe I call it, you got your OOP. He's the owner and he operates the equipment, right? But then you got guys that do own the truck, but they don't operate it, right? And then you got what they call lease ops, which a lease operator is he leases the truck and he operates the truck, right? But we use the term loosely. People are like, I'm just a lease op. Well, sometimes people think that means they own the truck, but they're leased on to somebody, and that's not what that means. We actually call them OLs, or you're an owl, you know what I mean? Oh, owl, the operator, lease operator, operate the lease. But or operate by lease, there's a lot of different what they call it, syllables or synonyms for however you want to put it. But there's some real key significant differences, and obviously you may know some of them. You're leasing the truck, but you don't own it. But just because you don't own the truck don't mean that you're not responsible for the maintenance of the truck, because there's a lot of leases that you still have to pay for that maintenance. There may be certain things that they may cover, but they're still going to take a percentage out per mile to cover that. So don't get caught up thinking that you leasing the truck and that you're just going to be, hands free and on to just go out and make all this bread and that somebody else going to cover it, because there's a lot of things that the lease operators have to take care of. You got to pay for them oil changes. You got to pay for, a lot of cases, sometimes tires, because that's not considered normal wear, right? It may be normal wear of operating the truck, but that didn't just fail. It failed because you were using the truck. So they feel like they're going to charge you. That's your responsibility to handle that. And they also do that with trailers too, where you got to put those tires and stuff on that trailer. If you're leasing a trailer, what they'll cover is mechanical major failures, maybe brakes or something like that, fail, or, maybe wiring or lighting they might cover. But a lot of times that trailer maintenance is yours, even when you lease that trailer. Now, when you're with a company like Landstar, when I was with Landstar took care of the equipment, you see, because it was their trailer and I wasn't leasing the trailer. I was leasing on to them using their equipment, and they don't charge you for their equipment. So that's the guidelines. And a lot of times when you're leased on, you got to look at your paperwork and all that when you are signing on with these companies as a owner operator that lease on. So I call them double OLs. You got to make sure that you know what those parameters are. Now, with that being said, again, you also have your owner operators who own the truck, operate the truck, operate under the lease, right? But they may lease the truck out or sublease it, which they're operating it but not operating it. I know it's a little confusing, but I'll give you a small example of that. But the guidelines still kind of fall the same as the first one, except like I knew a couple people at Landstar that didn't own the truck, but I knew the owners of the trucks. They subleased it to the drivers, right? But what they do is they don't necessarily charge those drivers to use the truck. The drivers are in a sense driving for them, but they're qualified as Landstar drivers, because you still have to be qualified as Landstar drivers. So I could theoretically take my truck, get a driver that's qualified for Landstar, put him in it, not even charge him for it. He just may be, whatever we work out, and then I'll pay him as a driver. Basically, he's a company driver, but that truck is, quote unquote, he's the only person that's driving that truck. So that's another form of how that works. Okay. And then you got your guys that are like myself, we're carrier owners, and then we also operate our equipment. We run under our own authority, and there's perks to it all. One of the major perks that I like is being able to call the shots on everything that I do, run how I want to run, go where I want to go, work when I want to work. Yeah, you can do that as a lease operator, and I say lease operator as in being leased on to somebody, or leasing a truck and operating, because you can also be a carrier owner or have your own authority and lease a truck, and you're not a lease operator. You're just simply literally leasing the truck under your own authority, but I like the freedom of, like I said before, it's a different kind of freedom. I like the fact that I get paid when I want to get paid. I get paid every day if I want to. I get paid every time I drop my load. Even when you're leased on with somebody, you own a truck and you lease onto them, you're still subject to when they pay. Even with Landstar, you could pick the day that you wanted to get paid. I think it was either like you could pick a Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday, and they dropped it on however they wanted to drop it, but you still had to wait that week, to get paid. Then you're running trying to get all your loads in so that you can get all your pay on that one. You might have a few straggler loads that don't fall on your day because of obviously deliveries, but a lot of times, depending on your situation as a running under your own authority, when you're going to get paid. And I'm getting paid when I deliver my load, and if I get my paperwork sent in, most of the time before noon, I'll get my bread will be on my account within, an hour. Sometimes I've had it sometimes in 30, 40 minutes. I was paid bank right in my bank right after I delivered a load. So that's a big advantage because, you know, when you're on your own, you have a lot of costs that you're incurring and things coming out, and you have operating costs. So to be able to get that capital back, because, you know, one of the, I guess if you want to call it a drawback, is that, you know, when you own the authority, you are fronting everything. You know, I don't have somebody's fuel card and things like that, and be able to get, you know, them to front me money for maintenance if I have an issue going on. You don't have that. So to be able to get your capital um, as soon as possible is huge. So again, you may be leased on to somebody. You may be, you know, running, you know, the truck in your mind, how you feel like you're doing what you're doing, but you're always going to be subject to other people's rules and regulations of how they operate their authority. So a lot of guys jump out here thinking that, you know, I'm gonna just get my own truck and I'm gonna just get leased on and then I can call the shots. You know, some of these companies you lease onto, they're expecting you to run a certain amount of freight a week. And if you're not, then what is the benefit of them having you on for them? Because it's a business at the end of the day. You know, I'm not going to have a guy on my insurance and he barely bringing anything because he want to do what he want to do. That's not a business move for most carriers. You know, now if you're a real large carrier like Landstar, or brokerage rather, because people don't understand that Landstar is not a trucking company, it's a brokerage. If you have a big brokerage and you got hundreds of drivers under you, then, you know, it's a whole different ball game. It's a more so about locking in guaranteed workers versus revenue at that point, because they got enough guys out there they're gonna be running. There's a lot of guys that are literally about their bread, so they don't never really have to worry about that. So there is pros and cons to, you know, both sides of the fence. I wouldn't want to do it no other way than I'm doing it, you know, and that's why I took the path that I took to get out here and do my own thing. And, you know, looking back, man, I never thought I'd be able to get out of it and be at this level of being able to do what I want to do, run how I want to run, you know, be semi-retired now, you know, that quick, and, you know, been able to accomplish the things I wanted to get accomplished and buy the things I wanted to buy, and you know, have my equipment and stuff paid off, you know, in the short period of time that I started under my own. So, you know, is it hard work? Absolutely. You have to put time in, absolutely, but it is every bit worth the end goal. And you got to have an end goal. You got to figure out what your end goal is and what you want to do and go for it. So that's that. I really didn't intend for this video to be that long, guys, but there it is. You know, there it is. There are some of the difference, and I kind of summed it up as much as I could. But however you want to do it. You know, you got to figure out what works for you. You might have to do all of them to figure out which one you want to work. You know, I wouldn't recommend jumping out, getting your own authority first off, you know, because you definitely need to learn the business and learn about it. But if you know, want to lease out, go lease a truck. I did that, leased my first truck, and then gave it back. And then I went and did a lease purchase, because that's another whole situation. And then I gave that truck back. But my goal was just to lease the truck. It wasn't really to purchase a truck. It was just I was filling out the business, you know, and learning as I went on. It was just about getting in the truck so I can do what I wanted to do back then. But I had to go do a whole nother video on that. And if you want to hear about it, drop it in the comments and I'll make another video about it. It's your boy Q Deezy, the double the easy. How about you, driver? Peace out.